Yo diggity dogs, it's me AJ Beast. Welcome to another video on my channel. And if you haven't been on this channel before, then I suggest that you like and I suggest that you subscribe. Why? Because this channel is pretty fun. I think you'll have a blast here. Big on conversations. But anyways, that's besides the point. Today I am talking about why Joe Schoen should be fired as the Giants GM. And ultimately, I got three main points: coaching, free agency, and drafting. First, we are going to start with, so when it comes to the draft, this team, Joe Schoen himself, is terrible at drafting. For one, most of the people that I thought about when it came to good draft picks that Joe Schoen has made in his time as the Giants GM, I mean, just looking at the list right now that I racked up, and even then, these guys are with a grain of salt. Malik Neighbors, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Tyrone Tracy. With those three, ultimately, Kayvon Thibodeau just started to show success. Malik Neighbors, you just got him a year ago. Tyrone Tracy, I mean, he's good, but he's not great. But ultimately, looking at most of these draft picks, most of these good ones were in the first round, around the top 5 or top 10. So ultimately, I'm not giving him any credit for getting Malik Neighbors when it was kind of obvious that you should get him at that point in the draft. Then when it comes to bad draft picks, you got Evan Neal, Jalen Hyatt, Deonte Banks, and these are guys that came in within the first to third round that the Giants ended up picking up that ultimately have done nothing for this team, that has disappointed us on every measure. Even with Evan Neal, he's not even playing. Jalen Hyatt has been given chance after chance after chance, only to fail on every occasion. Every time we got a little bit, we got a catch. He made a couple of plays. And then something happens in that game where it just brings the momentum down. So ultimately, and don't even get me started on Deonte Banks. So ultimately, looking at the draft class, looking at all the draft class that he has drafted, I'm not counting this year because right now it's too soon to tell where they're going to be. And maybe it might even be too soon for Tyrone Tracy and Malik. But overall, he's been terrible at drafting these guys. The next thing up is, let's talk about free agency. With free agency, this man has made the most mistakes out of any GM. Has there been catastrophic changes that other GMs have done? Yes. But I'd argue that catastrophic changes do apply to this team as well. I mean, when it comes to changing the team up when there are people who could have fixed this team, I mean, you got rid of Saquon Barkley, everyone knows, our superstar franchise guy that we couldn't elevate because we were doing bad in the draft and weren't doing anything in free agency. So there's him, there's Leonard Williams, which we traded away for, and we coincidentally have problems up front. So I wonder if Leonard Williams would have helped the problems with the inner line of the Giants. I wonder. Julian Love also is on that list, a safety who, I mean, I don't even remember. I think he was okay, but he's doing really good in Seattle right now. And what else? Xavier McKinney, another safety who in his last game as a Giant had 2 interceptions and continued that streak in Green Bay. So don't tell me that these guys haven't got good talent. It's just that they haven't been able to develop them to take them to the next level. So ultimately, yes, drafting is important, but what else is doing good in free agency. And I think Joe Schoen has done neither of those two things. But the last thing up is a very important one that trumps any person you put on this field, any person you put as the backups, any person you sign or draft or trade for. The number one thing that he has failed us with is I almost kind of feel bad for Brian Daboll. Because ultimately, I don't think he was necessarily the worst coach. Definitely not the worst Giants coach of all time. I just don't think that. And to be put in a situation to where you're the one that's being blamed for everything when our GM is the reason why you're here, the reason why Shane Bowen is here, and the reason why the Giants have a losing culture. But no, leadership in the head coaching department's what's wrong. And I'm not saying that he was great as the coach. I'm not saying that he wasn't a factor of the losing culture. But what I'm saying is they came in as a package deal. So you would imagine that if you took one of them out, you would take the other one. But the front office seemed to love Joe Schoen for some reason, even though he has messed up everything for this Giants organization. And to prove that, look at these stats. Look at them. Like, tell me why we went 9-7 in his first year as GM, which I am not giving him, because at the end of the day, that wasn't his team. Every GM/head coach plays their first year with the last head coach and GM's team. The second you get to the second, third, and fourth, that's when you start having your players show up. So 9-7, made the playoffs, beat the Vikings, got destroyed by Philly. 2023, went 6-11. 2024, went 3-14. And so far in 2025, we have been 2-11 at the time of this recording, with having the number one pick right now if the league ended today. So far, what I'm seeing from this team, from Joe Schoen specifically, is that the more that he has control of who's coaching, who's being drafted, and who's being signed or released, he's going to find a way to make it so this team gets worse. Like, what next? Are you going to risk having him make the decision to make the head coach and all of the coaching staff to once again make another losing culture? Because at the end of the day, it starts with the GM. He has to leave in order for the Giants to be able to change. Because I guarantee anyone else you put in that GM position is going to make that change, is going to make effort and show it. It frustrates me how much Joe Schoen has failed this team on several occasions. But what makes it worse is that our owner is not seeing the signs. I don't know what Joe Schoen told him in order for him to keep his job. Like, the young nucleus that he has, how's that young nucleus doing? Some of the good young guys that he has on this roster are injured right now. Malik is out for the season. Cam Scadaboo, out for the season. Ultimately, Micah McFadden, he also could be on that list because he was doing great when he was healthy on the field. But he got injured and he was gone for the rest of the season. Who? Jalen Hyatt? Evan Neal? That's your young nucleus. That's your actual young nucleus. Everyone else, those were gimmies. Those were talented guys that were obvious picks. I'm not giving you credit for any of that. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to give credit to a GM who's been able to get a top 10 draft pick in the first round every year since he has started. Not counting 2022. So ultimately, Joe Schoen needs to be fired because he is the number one reason why we have been losing. Because he's been in charge of the coaching, the drafting, the free agency, and any trades that were made. Has he made good trades? Yes. Javon Hollins, I think, was a good trade. Brian Burns was a good trade. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you made one or two great things go on. You have way more worse things under your belt than good. So ultimately, it doesn't matter what he's been able to do. What matters is what he's not doing right now. And that is why Joe Schoen needs to be fired. And we need a new GM and new coaching. Because ultimately, the Giants aren't going to win if Joe Schoen still is the GM for the New York Giants. But let me know what you think. Do you disagree? Let me know if you think they should fire Joe Schoen. Right now, we're doing this during the, bye week, which I would imagine would be a good place to get rid of him. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. If he ends up staying, just gonna have to deal with it. But let me know what you think in the comments below. My question of the day for you guys is, if Joe Schoen stays, do you think we could still win games? If Joe Schoen stays, do you think we can win games? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you like this video. I tried my best to, give you information as best as I could. Subscribe if you're new, because I would love to hear feedback. I'd love to hear what you want to see from this channel. And subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. Sorry, I'm very awkward. With that, yo diggity dogs, AJ Beast is out.